Black women will have depression and then go get a master's degree.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amalmi, aka Petite Diva, and in this video we are discussing black women getting college degrees. Now, I saw a certain video where it seemed like some men have an issue with black women getting college degrees, and I would love for us to discuss why that is happening. So in this video, we are checking out some women talk about their experience because they have college degrees and they are black, and how some people have responded to the fact that some black women are deciding to level up education wise. So let's check out what people have to say, and then I'll come back to share my thoughts. Now, if you like this video, please give it the thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now let's get into this video.
That piece of paper that you so proud of, don't mean a goddamn thing. Why you gonna be a broke motherfucker?
Huh?
No, I'm not gonna be broke because I don't have to do manual labor.
What the heck?
50, you gonna be broke.
I'm not gonna be 50 and broke.
What?
I rebuke all that in the name of Jesus. That's not something I'm going to do.
Yes, okay.
I'm definitely glad that I got to experience going to a HBCU.
What? Okay.
Oh.
And actually experiencing that and going through that, because it has gotten me into several places that a lot of people can't get into without that piece of paper.
I went to.
Yeah. I understand all that, but you saying that I'm gonna be broke when I'm 50 and stuff, you don't wish certain things like that on me.
No, but cause you act like you above everybody else.
I do not act like I'm above everybody else. How do I act like I'm above everybody else if
Nobody give a fuck with that piece of paper. Don't let it in the fireplace.
I'll never throw my degree in the fireplace because I
What do
put
you
myself
mean?
through college. I
Hey.
did a pretty good job.
I put myself through when, if, should, could. All that, you know what all that is? Excuses for a fucking piece of paper that you paid for.
Are you jealous?
Shit.
I've had several jobs doing it
Why you ain't got nothing now?
because I don't want it.
Then why you spend all that money?
But I got it because I can always use it.
Hey, shit, yeah. Then why the hell you ain't used it?
Because I don't want to.
Oh, okay. So,
I didn't have to spend money to go to college.
you had a grant.
I had several grants
Yeah.
paid for.
I tried to be general about this, but I have to be clear. Black women, you need to get your degrees and you need to get them now. If you're working on your bachelor's, considering that master's, wanting to get that PhD, this is the time to get it because the Department of Education is at risk of being completely dismantled. So those federal programs that can usually help you, like that Pell Grant, I remember I got a Pell Grant. That helped me with a lot of expenses in college. And you may not have the opportunity. Companies do offer tuition reimbursement, but that's a reimbursement. That's something that you have to pay up front to get back, right? There are companies that may sponsor your education, but right now, while you can, there are still programs that will help fund your education. My upper mobility, the competitive salaries, competitive contracts that I've been able to get in my career have been directly tied to having a master's degree. People can't really compete with it.
So I decided it is imperative that I get my master's degree for two very important reasons. First off, I want to be part of the 9%. If you know,
You know.
you know. Secondly, I want to keep the statistic up that black women are the most educated group of people in the United States of America. Without me, and without the future of our youth continuing this, it will no longer be the case. Bonus reason, I'm a psychology major, so what else can I really do?
Black women will have depression and then go get a master's degree. Or maybe a PhD. Or maybe go to law school. And according to statistics, black women are one of the most educated demographics in the US, if not the most educated. I find this so funny because instead of us going to therapy, we're like, okay, if I'm gonna be sad, might as well be busy while I'm being sad. Black women will have depression and then go get a master's degree.
I'm obviously not a black woman, but I can attest to this. My mother, 1990, my mom's second youngest brother died of complications from AIDS. And then in 1993, my father passed away from cancer. In 1994, my mom's youngest brother, her baby brother, died from an infection from a gunshot wound. My mother, in 93, I believe, Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, and then got her Master's of Science in Nursing. And then in, I want to say early 2000s, like maybe 2000, 2001, she then went on to get 2 doctorate degrees in nursing. Then now that I'm older and I ask her about how she handled all of what she went through, she honestly tells me that she doesn't really remember because she was so focused on going to school and taking care of my brother and I.
So that
beginning
distracted
statement
her.
is 110% true. Shout out to the educators. Holler.
The reason why black men do not care about going to college is because black women will still accept us even when we don't.
That doesn't make sense.
Black women need to understand the power that they have.
I've been saying this for the longest. Stop getting with men that aren't even on your level. As a woman, I personally feel a man should be doing just as good as you or better than you. And stop feeling like you have to pick up where his mother left off. That is a grown man. Whatever she didn't complete, let the next woman do it. You don't have to do it. That's not your responsibility. And stop looking at a man for his potential. And when I say potential, I'm talking about you done met this man off the street. He's not in school. He doesn't have a job, doesn't have a car, doesn't have anything going on. What potential are you looking at that point? You're seeing something in him that doesn't even exist. You like what you're looking at. You like how he makes you feel for the moment. But that potential you're talking about, that's imaginary. When I say potential, I'm not talking about the men that are actively doing their thing. They're in college. They've started their careers.
That's potential.
That's the potential, like, you know, you do whatever you want with that one. And another thing, they're always talking about black men, black women. I've seen it all across the board. Like that lady, I think her name is Sarah Kim, and her husband Andrew. She met this man. He didn't have no job, in between jobs, haven't had a job for years. They got married, had kids and stuff. She does everything around the house, takes care of all the finances, and what does he do? Play on his game. So not just black women, women all across the board, stop accepting men that have nothing, not college educated, not career oriented, doesn't have anything that he's bringing to the table. And I promise you, they will start putting in that work so they can have something of substance to bring to your table.
This black men, why don't they go to college topic on TikTok is frying. Because it shows me a lot of things. It shows me that black classism is a problem. But let's
What do you mean by that?
Of why black men don't go to college. First, it starts with a lot of reasons, and it can be unique. First, I'm going to say this. It ain't never too late to go to college. So if you're a black man watching this video, you can still go to college. It ain't never too late. You can always go. Also, college is not the only way that you can make money and be successful. But let's start where most black men live. Let's talk about it. Most black men grow up in low income, overpopulated, single parent household community with the lack of a support system on top of that. You're going to keep that in mind. A lot of black men are growing up as single mother households. That is a topic for another day. The community needs to work on that. We all know that. That means in a lot of cases, a lot of young men are forced to grow up early. With being forced to grow up early, a lot of men, what they're going to do, they're just going to start working immediately. Like the time clock for a black man and a black woman is different because society, the way we are viewed is a lot different. If you as a black woman do not have a job and don't have shit going on, you're not going to be judged nearly as harshly as a man would, especially a black man. So this type of programming, what it breeds into black men is go get the money, this hustler mindset, any means necessary. You're not going to feel as comfortable sitting another 4 years or another 6 years in school to make the money you feel like you got to make when you spent 18 years of your life, 19, 20 years of your life down bad and broke. Not to mention when you grow up in these low income areas, the school system not being great, not teaching you at a certain age how to make income, how to actually monetize your life. They don't teach you none of these things. They don't teach you none of this financial literacy shit in school, especially not in a school in no damn hood. Like, I even want to throw this away. I saw someone say black men can't read. They can't read at a college level. I think that is some CIA bullshit, and I'm not hearing that. I know so many people, so many black males that are smart, intelligent, and they didn't go to school and graduate. It just didn't happen for them. That doesn't mean they couldn't read and they couldn't write. Like, I didn't even mention the trauma aspect that a lot of black kids seem to deal with that is understated in the black community. And it's kind of why I think black classism is a problem, because what ends up happening to black people when they start elevating, they get into, I would say, higher tax brackets, they seem to have this fundamental misunderstanding of their own people and the challenges they may face coming up as a young black person. And accountability still needs to be held with the black men We don't have enough fathers and leaders in our communities. We don't have enough
Thank
of
God
a
you
support
said
system by
you
just all
said
males
it.
pushing young black youth to go to college or even just giving them mentorship. And black women, you're not abstained from this. You can't just be having kids like with no plan in place. Y'all literally are part of the problem. That's why it's a cultural problem. It's not just some black men problem. It's a whole problem with the community. So what can we do as black people? What we can do is, be kinder to each other. That's number one. We need to work better as a community. All this coming on the internet and this person don't do this, I don't like black women, I don't like black men, that shit gotta stop. We gotta stop letting the CIA and the propaganda push us, apart. Like, it doesn't make sense. And the way forward is going to be community, building actual family values. All this baby mama, single mother culture, single parent shit, it gotta stop. It has to. Like, we gotta get off this individual mindset. We gotta get back to community and building. And generational wealth isn't just something you just stumble into because you get rich one day. No, it starts with you and hopefully a significant other building through your child. And from there, they build something. Let it be you guys do a business together or you guys invest together. It needs to be more togetherness.
Not only do more black women enter college, they outperform the men once they get there. Nationwide, black women have surpassed their male counterparts, even in typically male-dominated and often lucrative fields such as computer science. Each year, black women earn twice as many bachelor's degrees as black men. At historically black colleges, renowned for their success with African Americans, fewer than a third of black male students graduate within 6 years. In postgraduate education, black women outnumber black men more than 2 to 1. Multiple explanations for this development have been offered, with none gaining a consensus. What is clear, though, is that the educational attainment of young black men continues to lag behind that of black women. Black women are receiving the overwhelming majority of college degrees among African Americans at the same time that those degrees have become more valuable. The earnings gap between the educational have and have-nots has grown wider over the last few decades due to an evolving labor market. Is Marriage for White People? By Ralph Banks. How the African American marriage decline affects everyone. I love books like this because I love learning and I am just soaking up so much information. Mind you, I'm on page 40, so it just continues to get better.
Also, in the conversation about higher education, let's continue to chat about the impact you have on your dating life as a black woman when you get higher education degrees. Podcast mics are also ruining that. I've seen firsthand in my own comments, men will come in here deep and be like, no one cares about your degree. You think you're so special because you have your degrees. No one cares about them. No one cares about them. Well, that's reflected in the stats. You don't care about them because you're not going to school. So why do you care about something that you don't have? One, but two, oftentimes it just comes across as you're jealous. It's quite literally misogynistic to try to convince women that it makes you less desirable to receive higher education when in fact it increases your earning capacity. And so your masculinity is then threatened. And I think that's something that you have to deal with. Again, I circle it back to podcast mics. I need to figure out how to ban them.
I'm working on my doctorate degree, and for my statistical research methods course, the topic that I'm looking into is the connection between black women and their educational attainment and how it relates to poverty. As a woman, specifically a black woman, it is imperative that you get your education. The single most indicative factor that's responsible for black women getting out of poverty is education. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to take a traditional educational path. If college is not for you, that's fine. Look into trade school, get a certification, move around, get some experience, and work your way up. If you've been thinking about going to college, do it. Now, if you have to work and you can't sit in a classroom all day, that's fine. There are plenty online educational institutions that you can attend based on your schedule and get your degree. If you've been thinking about getting a master's, do it. A PhD, do it. Law school, do it. Med school, do it. Dental school, whatever it is that you've been thinking about as it relates to education, do it. Your education is the single most important factor. This is proven by the data to get black women above the poverty level, out of poverty. Black women have single-handedly gotten themselves out of poverty because they got their education.
Okay, so we've seen what people think about black women getting degrees and also why some Black men are not getting college degrees. I would love to hear what you think about the line of thought that Black women don't need to get college degrees to be comfortable, and how some people treat Black women getting degrees and saying that nobody cares about your degree. I would love to hear what you think about the whole topic. So please leave your comment in the comment section. Now, personally, as someone who has 2 college degrees or university degrees, and hope to have more, honestly, if I had enough money to go to school and go back to school, I would have probably gotten like maybe another master's. I would have gotten a PhD. I probably would have gotten 2 masters and a PhD, and probably be like an associate professor or locum professor, something like that, because I would love to try out teaching. But that is me with me liking to go to school and liking to learn things, and just also liking to share knowledge with people. But that aside, I'm one person that likes to encourage people to go to school. I'm always pushing people around me to go to school, go to university. Maybe I'm old school in the sense that previously, all of Africans, especially Nigerians, always like encourage their children to go to school, because some people will say it's what they've seen growing up, how education helps to bring out of poverty. But personally, based on my family background, I would say that that might not be far off with why a lot of older people always like push their children to go to school, and they're always like proud when they achieve university degree. Now, my grandmother did not have like a university degree. I believe that she just went to secretariat school or something like that, but she insisted her children, because if you don't know, my grandmother and grandfather, they were in a polygamous marriage. I believe my grandfather had like 7 wives. My grandmother was like the 3rd wife. So he had several children. I think it's 26 children. I'm not sure, but there were multiple children. And my grandmother had 4 children for my grandfather, at least the 4 that lived to adulthood. So she insisted from when they were small that they were going to go to school, they were going to finish secondary school, they were going to finish university, even though my grandfather was not really like involved in their education. My mother actually had an issue with my grandfather because of her education. Anyway, she insisted that that would happen to her children. And my mom was the first child out of the 20 something to actually get a university degree, and she got it in pharmacy. So she got a Bachelor of Pharmacy from one of the prestigious universities in Nigeria. And because of that, and because of our other siblings also getting degrees, I think it made me who I am today. Because if she had not had that degree, if she had not been able to earn money, even when my male parent was acting up, she was not educated, if she was not enlightened, I don't know if I would have also gone to university. I don't know if I will also be a pharmacist. I don't know if I also have a master's of public health from one of the prestigious universities in the UK, which I got based on the fact that I had a scholarship, based on the fact that I did pharmacy and got a good CGPA. So for me, when I look at that, I'm always encouraging people, even though things might not be so rosy for them, I will always say, try and go to school. No matter how you struggle to get into school, just try and go to school, try and read, try and get a good grade, because it might be your ticket to being the person with the generational wealth in your family. It might be your ticket to getting out of poverty. It might enlighten you to get into spaces that you would not have gotten if you did not have the degree if you didn't have the university education. I know that university education, some people say it's a scam, because sometimes you come out, you might not get the job that you want. But there are some things, there's some opportunities that later you might get. Either you take it up or you don't take it up. But that opportunity, you might not get it if you do not have a college education or university education. Now, for example, I talked about the fact that I got my master's of public health in a prestigious university in the UK, and based on the fact that I got a scholarship. Now, when I applied for that, the story behind me applying for the scholarship and applying for this school is just funny, because it was just something that I saw on Facebook, and I just said, okay, let me try. And I was like, okay, if this particular thing happens, I will do it. And I applied. I wrote the answers to the scholarship question in my house. I didn't even tell anybody. I just applied. Then I got the scholarship, and I'm like going to UK for a degree. I did not even know what I was doing per se. I knew I wanted to do it, but I was not so prepared. But because of my background in pharmacy, and maybe because God gave me a particular skill in me understanding things faster, I was able to cope. Even though there were a lot of things that were happening to me, and I did not fully focus on the course, but I passed. And it also opened my eyes to a lot of things. Now, because of that degree and some experience, I actually got an offer to work with United Nations as part of their volunteer, which was going to pay me a lot of money. I didn't take it up because the place where I was supposed to be posted to, a lot of my family members said, no way, I cannot go there, because they were afraid that things will happen to me. But the point was, if I did not have that experience with going to get my master's in public health and just being more confident about myself and getting the degree, I would not have had the opportunity to even apply for the volunteer job and get it. But all in all, based on a lot of things that have happened in my life, I'm grateful for the fact that I have my college degree. I'm grateful for the fact that I have 2 degrees, and hopefully I get my PhD. I have to get that PhD. Hopefully I'll get that PhD. Hopefully I'll be able to impact in other people's life. Hopefully I'll be able to get that job that I said I want. But the thing is that I know for a lot of people, their education, their university degree has helped to get them greater opportunities that they would not have gotten if they did not go to school. So when people bash people, especially Black women, for getting degrees, I always be like, are you people jealous or confused, or the enemy that is in their corner? Because why would you be angry that somebody is leveling up education wise if you are not jealous, or maybe you have low self-esteem? Now, the other lady that someone was abusing her, because that is an abuse, and cursing her, because that was the curse, that the degree is not going to do anything for her. Thank God she rebuked it in Jesus' name, because that is a curse that she needs to send back to whoever is saying it. Why are you angry that she has a degree and saying it's of no use and the rest? If you did not get a degree, that's your business. But if someone decides to get a degree, I don't think it's something that you should be attacking the person for. Someone also said that there is a correlation between getting an education and getting out of poverty. Now, even if you might not get the job that you want, or you might not be as rich as Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates or Elon Musk, there's some level of poverty that getting a university degree can help to move you out of. Now, you might not even use your degree per se. You might not use your certificate to get the job that you is related to your degree, but it can give you some skills that can help you cite opportunities where people who do not go to school, who did not learn some skills, would not be able to cite. So I think people bashing Black women for getting college degrees are just so wrong and probably jealous or have low self-esteem. Anyway, that is my thought about this topic. I would love to hear what you think about Black women getting college degrees, getting their bachelor's degree, their master's degree, PhD degree, and the people that have a problem with Black women getting college or university degrees. I would love to hear if you got your university degree or if you're planning on getting a university or college degree. What was your experience getting the degree? Has it helped you anyway, either financially or mentally? I would love to hear your own experience. So please leave your comments in the comment section so that we can get this discussion popping. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe. And don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with all that said, thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.